Many people and the media argue that the reason for inflation this time is supply chain problems due to the pandemic or Ukraine war. It sounds convincing, but no. Don't be misled by this superficial phenomenon. Actually, the real reason comes from the Wall Street, New York City. And the inflation plan has been conspired early before the breakout of the pandemic and the Ukraine war. What? How come? In this video, let's talk about the truth behind our increasing daily expenses and your headache economical life for now and in future. Ready? Go! You must have heard of the Wall Street in the New York City, where the cleverest and the most greedy people in the world get together. But you probably have no idea how their talents this time on economics and finance have affected your wallet negatively. In the summer of 2019, 3 years ago and a half a year before the outbreak of the pandemic, BlackRock Investment Institute released a report of micro and market perspectives. The title is called Dealing with the Next Downturn. From unconventional monetary policy to unprecedented policy coordination. Even if without the pandemic, you could have faced economic slowdown or downturn or recession, and inflation would have gone up. Not let alone a series of unfortunate strikes in reality when you are literally suffering from the pandemic. Sadly today, this report has become the play script for your economical life in the United States and in many other countries worldwide. How come? Let's look into it right now. As this report claimed in early 2019, the economical context we were facing back then was harsh. See? Monetary policy is almost exhausted as global interest rates plunge towards zero or below. Fiscal policy on its own will provide major stimulus in timely fashion, given high debate level and the typical lag with implementation. Without a clear framework in this place, policymakers will inevitably find themselves blurring the boundaries between fiscal and monetary policies. This stress the hard-won credibility of policy institutions and could open the door to uncontrollable fiscal spending. So, under such circumstances, this report offered a framework to mitigate this risk as to enable an unprecedented coordination through a monetary financed fiscal facility, active, funded, and closed by the central bank to achieve an implicit inflation objective. How to do it? More specifically, this report mainly suggests that 1. The central bank finds ways to get central bank money directly in hands of public and private sector spenders. 2. Helicopter money. Sadly, in reality, coincidentally, the pandemic outbreak offered a perfect chance to implement this plan than any others. In reality, in the face of a historical recession by sudden hit since early 2020, a series of unconventional fiscal and monetary rescue packages have started. See, one part is the United States coronavirus stimulus checks. Yep, the eligible people in the United States received monthly payments for a while. This is the most obvious helicopter money from the United States government to the most citizens. Besides, many more going directly come up. So, economically, explicit monetary financing is sufficient size will push up inflation. There is no such a thing as a free lunch. When the markets run with more liquidity this time, inflation starts. See this chart here? Since early 2020, the inflation has soared considerably. Not let alone supply chain issues and the Ukraine war come up to be two strong cats, the fattest piece of annual inflation in 40 years. These numbers means that for commodities in financial market, all prices have soared. Crude oil, cotton, beans, wheat, and all kinds of minerals. Then, for manufacturing industries, all prices of all raw materials have increased, their business costs have gone up. In order to transfer such extra and maintain the same revenue, prices of all relative products have to go up. In the end, you, the customer, finally pay all price. And over time, your economic life quality is under threat if you don't plan to spend more. Anyway, active inflation as a dangerous but have to choice for the United States and the world, and many countries have made a negative impact on the general public life, especially shrinking middle class and struggling bottom. In other words, in order to maintain current financial system to work as usual, the general public are paying increasing price to take and hold this kicking bomb. Yet there is little experience in using helicopter money to generate just enough inflation to achieve price stability. History as well as theory suggest large-scale injections of money are simply not a tool that can be fine-tuned for a modest increase in inflation. Well, I know that maybe you want to blame this Wall Street analysts and the United States authority. But you know what? If without this unconventional policy tool, the financial system in the United States or maybe worldwide should have collapsed. That a much bigger disaster than the Great Recession would have hit everyone. So, to the general public, the thing is whether you would have hurt by exploded bomb or you are holding this ticking bomb and waiting for coming explosion.